Welcome to the next chapter of my life, where we actually talk about some of the topics that are left over from last month to literally this month. Yeah, today is literally the first ever monthly life update after the last one, and this is technically our second one, but this is the first one ever monthly update. So with that in mind, let's get started. So today's topic is about a new era and a new change that happened in my life. So let's get started. So I just started the organic, hybrid, grass-fed, and whole foods diet, by the way. And I do think that this other video talked just a little bit about it from a video reaction or the next one. So ever since I actually started Nomadic Path on March 18th, 2026, earlier, which was almost 6 months ago, ever since I started it, everything in my life completely changed in real time. What I truly mean is that the people that I hang out with and the sessions that I listen on ALUX, even Masterclass before it expired on May 29th, a lot of things changed in real time, especially during this earlier months of the summer. My mentality, the way I see things, everything completely changed. And it made me more hopeful for the very first time. And I know it's a little dark out here because the sun is rising, but stick with me. I do truly think that there is a shift coming. This wealth transfer, this mindset transfer, everything that we've known in the past 15 to 30 years is about to change in real time. And no, it's not exactly what you imagine it will be. Yes, there are some economic downturns and this and that, but it's true. But there's also a transfer of industries as well that I don't think very many people talk about that often. That includes investors, venture capitalists, private equity firms. Everything that we once knew is changing. However, there is an interesting statistic that I wanted you to talk about, that I wanted you to know about. All of the businesses that are actually owned by private equity firms, approximately 80 to 90% of them go to bankruptcy versus a non-private equity firm that is owning a small business. Think about that for 1 second. Did you hear this? Did you hear what I said? And you know what that means? That means if your business is owned by a private equity firm, at least most of them that are failing, you're more likely to file bankruptcy on their behalf. That is massive. Oh. This isn't just the tip of the iceberg. That's just what's been happening for the past, I say 20 years or more that we know of right now. And it kind of made me wonder, how am I going to be able to take it to this new chapter? And don't get me wrong, private equity firms are interesting, but the way they do business is not efficient. And I'm only saying this as a 3-year investor and now less than a year entrepreneur as well. I'm just saying it as a fact. Anyone that wants to get into a private equity firm, do some research, because I'm telling you, they're not who you think they are. Yes, they're bigger than consulting firms, which I just mentioned it like, I don't know, about a month ago at least. I'm telling you, these are very real things. And if you get in business with anyone in the venture capital, private equity, or consulting, please do your due diligence, which I've been talking about for quite a while now. These are very necessary precautions. Because if you're working for someone that is actually have a horrible track record and has a lot of bankruptcies, don't work for them. Chances are they're going to rip you off and you're not going to be happy about it. That's a very real thing. And that's not only a real thing for small businesses, but it's also a very real thing for successful ones too. These are some things that we need to keep an eye on. And that's the topic that nobody wants to talk about. And I'm only saying this as a fact and proven years and years of research. These are very necessary topics to talk about. And I don't think very many young people and people of all ages ever want to hear, but it has to be spoken. Oh, that's not all. That includes the value of your home, apartment, cars, everything that you own. If they go bankrupt, say goodbye to the products that you own. Those things are a very real thing. That's why private equity can be both a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, depending on where you are in life. That's a very big iceberg, if you know what I mean. It's very huge. It's actually several times larger than you think it is. And that's the thing. And look, especially when I get more wealthier and wealthier as I get older, thankfully it does happen, but when I do, I'm going to keep a very close eye on all these venture capitalists, private equity, and consulting megalodons, because those things are extremely real, especially when I have several companies one day. These things are going to be very, very much important in my top 3 priorities, and they're very necessary. However, that's not all that I want to talk about. Another thing that I want to talk about right now is where my life is headed right now. So if you don't already know, I do have my very own first e-commerce company, Nomadic Path, by the way. And it is a merchandise company, but it will soon enter the apparel competition against Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Reebok, and all of them that actually produce not only these clothes, hats, and bottles, but shoes too, pants, maybe even underwear one day. Yeah, I know. Talk about embarrassment. Yes, we all know we've had our failed and successful experiments in our lives. I'll tell you that much. I've had lots of them that failed, but let's be fair, don't be afraid of failure. But why does this actually fit in with the private equity, consulting, and venture capitalist ideas? Well, one, I am the deal, because nobody else is going to get it but me when it comes to these things. Because one day, when I have all these companies, guess who's going to work for me? Everybody else that has feared the idea from the very beginning. That's who's going to work for me. If not, it's going to be the AIs. And I'm only saying this as a brutally honest man, because let's be fair, most people don't understand what's going on. And that's not to say that the people working in those industries are bad. No. It's the way they do business that is actually not doing a good job. In fact, there is a lot of upheaval right now when it comes to private equity firms, venture capitalists. There's a lot of political backlash going on right now as we speak. And that's not just all. It's the people that own all of these things that are really mad about it. And can you blame them? No, you can't. And why is that? Because they're done. Do you ever fear missing out on your great legendary summer? Good news for you is that Nomadic Path will make your summer 100 billion times better and more legendary. With Retro Focus 85, you will save 20% of your entire order, plus free shipping, and you get to enjoy your summer that you've been looking for a long time. Click the link in the description. I will see you on the website and enjoy your summer shopping. Done. They want to own their freedom. They want to be happy. But unfortunately, some of the companies and all the real estate people that kind of had their back the whole time turn their back and actually make a profit. That's a very real thing. You know why? Because somebody owns them. That's the scary part about all this. However, despite all of the things we just talked about, it's time that I talk about a life update. So as you can see, I did re-enter the dating scene literally almost 4 months ago. And what I've learned so far is that everybody is complicated. And I'll tell you that much. Men and women had it all wrong this entire time. Why do I say this? It's because the leadership structure is much more fragile than it used to be. Why that is? It's because the elites want us divided and fighting against each other, which includes gender wars, left versus right, and brother against brother. That's how it all goes. And that's how we see the Great Reset restructure in real time. And good news is that we have the Golden Age agenda right in front of our pockets. Yes, I truly mean it. You heard what I said. And it's called the Full Potential Challenge. And it is a 6-month to 2-year challenge that you can challenge yourself every single day. And it all has to be up to you. Not me, not anyone else, but you. If you're willing to make a change right now, take the Full Potential Challenge and become the revolutionized version of yourself. Because if we have more people like you and me, the world will become a golden beacon of hope instead of a dystopian hellhole that the world is headed in right now. So, if you're willing to do it right now, do it as soon as possible and don't wait. You will thank me later. So why is the Full Potential Challenge a very big deal right now? I'm telling you, because I'm taking it as well. That includes physique changes, financial changes, and everything that you do. It doesn't have to be 6 months or a year. It could go all the way up to 2 years if you have to, depending on your situation, which includes construction, being in the military, or maybe even being in a very, very serious dead-eat project that you really need to get done. These things are truly a blessing in real time. Truly a blessing. However, at the exact same time, not all of us are guaranteed to work. Or should I say, none of this is guaranteed to work. But if you're willing to make changes and adopt new ones, then I think your chances of success are very, very high. But at the same time, gotta watch out for the challenges. We gotta be grateful for what we have. And look, I understand that the world is getting tougher and tougher, but at the same time, it will only get easier if you take the first step. And another thing that I do want to talk about, that I do think is kind of, I would say, controversial, is that I do think that my time, not only with the church, but also with the work that I'm going in, is coming to an end. Like very, very soon. Depending on how Nomadic Path performs and my YouTube channel and all these investments and budgeting, there's a very high chance that those things are coming to an end and Nomadic Path completely takes over. This is why a YouTube channel and an extra YouTube channel with the Nomadic Path name will soon be created. And I know it is extremely crazy of me to getting another YouTube channel even after like a year, almost a full year, almost the entire year of having a motivation channel, a personal channel being deleted. It's gonna officially come back. You know, if that goes well, we might bring back the motivation channel that I've had for about over 3 years. You see, sometimes things take time and it builds up. And I've done 11 years of content creation. And I'm telling you, things have changed in real time since 2015. And now we're in 2026. And I'm telling you, this multipolar world is no joke. Because if you're willing to adapt, kind of like what Cyrus and all of these people that are like multi-passport gen-led, I think we could learn from these courageous leaders and actually apply some of their philosophies to our daily life. Go where you're treated best, and it tends to give you the respect tenfold. So I think that philosophy is really, really good. And the last thing I want to talk about is that don't be afraid to start a new path. Especially as we get into 2027, I do really think that having a side hustle or an investment idea, starting a savings and emergency fund is not a bad idea. Because especially right now, and especially if you actually do decide to have a TikTok, YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever content creation idea you do have, even though I don't personally have a TikTok, I do think that in some cases it could be useful, but in my personal opinion, I probably don't need it. But if you do decide to go in that route and actually have that idea, chances are things will work out, but it won't be easy, especially with the job layoffs and everything else. It's going to get crazy. I'm just gonna warn y'all, it is gonna get crazy in these next few years. And you know, the only reason why I started this new chapter in my life is because I was ready for it to take me in this new direction. And I can't completely rely on content creation, investments, or anything else. I gotta rely on this new business, like the e-commerce and many, many others, because of multiple income streams. And if I don't take that path or take that risk, then I risk losing everything. And I think a lot of people are headed in that same direction as well in some cases. But the last point that I wanted to say is that don't be afraid to take that hidden boat, because chances are you're going to be very, very happy if you actually take that boat. And with that in mind, that is it for today's video. If you enjoy these walkabout videos and life updates, do me a favor, like and share, comment down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because most people that are watching this video are not subscribed. So if you want to become that guy that decided to subscribe and upgrade their life, go right ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow my other social media accounts. Check out my Freedom, what's it called? Yeah, Nomadic Freedom Forum community. And I'm telling you, your life is going to change if you join that community. Check out my my new merch e-commerce, Nomadic Path. And it does come with a promo code with RetroFocus85. It will save 20% of your entire order plus free shipping. No matter how big your order is, you will save a significant amount of money. And with that in mind, take the golden pill. The revolution is now, and we're counting on all of us to win in life. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
If you enjoy videos like this, and you're actually interested in videos like this one that just happened recently, do me a favor, like and share and comment down below and subscribe to this channel right here and right now. With that in mind, I'll see you in the next video, innovator.